And the answer was very positive because we have lived in this equality, striving for it, quarreling for it for decades already. We still may have some time, I suppose.
Depending, because it was the time of yours, and now it's time of mine. Or if
no.
Okay. But we start with the politics. Corruption is non-existent nowadays in our society. The definition of corruption in our country was made by our former president, and it sounds like this. If you offer for a civil servant a warm beer and a cold sandwich, that's not corruption. But if you offer a cold beer and warm sandwich, that is corruption in Finland. In former times we had it when we built up a hospital, 5% of the building cost went to the parties. But from late 60s we started to give to all parties party subsidy from the state budget. And nowadays if you are a candidate in elections, parliamentarian elections, you have to tell from where your money is. Even individual name if you get $2,000 from somebody. And in municipal elections, $1,000. And it's very strictly controlled, also by other candidates, because cheerlessness also keeps it up.
Okay, but as you can find out, we are speaking more on structural issues, more on politics, because of course individual issues, individual decisions, individual empowerment is very important. This is the start for everything. But you still need political decisions. You have to enter politics. I have to encourage all your women to enter politics here, to change the politics, to change the way of the political thinking here. Female way, female friendship, it's not so easy. It happens that there is also jealousy and quarreling, but mostly it works. We have in our parliament a network of women. All women in all parties have their meetings together because women have their common goals and targets and something they really need.
So it's very important that the politicians don't have enemies in the other parties. They have only adversaries. And you have to manage with everybody in our parliament. And in this women's network, it's very strong, but we have also a male network, but it's called Sauna Commission. There are leaders from all parties, leaders even, in the Sauna Commission, and last Thursday they were at our home. And we discussed, it's the only male commission which we have, but women have their own also. So we manage with others, although sometimes we are not in government, but sometimes we are. That makes us strong.
Some words about NGOs. I read some very interesting article in Economist some weeks ago about Mexican NGOs. And it told that the real issue is going on here in your civil society. So that there are very many NGOs, civil society organizations, women's organizations, which are growing stronger and stronger. And this is something, because this has been also a stronghold in our society, NGOs, because people there find their joint activities, their joint interest and their joint community there. I would encourage you in your NGOs. It was something very important I read in that
We have
article.
established about 40 NGO organizations together during these 50 years. But very interesting thing in Finland is that they are subsidized. We have a very special financing system. All the gambling, all the casinos, all the single-handed robbers and lotto are not in the hands of mafia, but in the hands of NGO organizations. They are the governing body. When you play, you are sure that the money comes back to the NGOs. And it has tradition from 1937 already. And also our Ministry of Education pays to a lot of organizations, even to opposition, anti-militarist organizations. Everything gets something from our taxpayers' money. So it makes our society quite broad and civil-based. But I think it's time for some questions, perhaps.
One point more, if it comes. Aging. The whole world is now aging. Ban Ki-moon said that the aging of the population is great victory of the humanhood. Yes. I will say to you, young women, don't be afraid of aging. Don't be afraid of aging. Aging gives you strength. Aging gives you wisdom. Aging gives you a sense of humor. What about some wrinkles? Oh no, they are nothing. They show your character, your joys and your sorrows. Don't be afraid of aging.
So if there are any questions, you can ask the book from our embassy, Finnish embassy from Mexico City. I think it might be in electronic form there also.
Maybe you need your coffee break.
Let's say one thing. Viva las mujeres de México. Más. También. Viva los hombres de México. Loud, yes. Sorry, can you repeat? We think that if everybody gets the high education altogether, wisdom grows up from the people, and we don't educate only the genius people. We think that we get much more genius if everybody gets the basic education. That's why women have to be in front. The problem is, even here perhaps, that over half of those who go to universities are nowadays female in Finland. We heard from...
Problem.
No. Here it might be the same yet, but in Iran it's really a problem for male population that they are thinking about having quotas for men to get into the universities.
We just were Iran in January.
We are a cold country. We have a very special language. We have only forests, so we don't have a lot of immigration. Only 2 or 3% of our population are from other countries. Nowadays, we take people, but they have to have an apartment. Unemployment is among Finnish people 10%, but among immigrants a little bit less if they are educated. Finns are told by Bertolt Brecht. He was a political refugee in Finland during Second World War. He made a poem on Finns, and he said, "Finns are silent in 2 languages."
Of course, a bigger population is more difficult, but if you devolve the power down, it might be easier. So we fully understand the challenges of big countries, but still politics is there, decision making is there, and if there is no corruption or little corruption, it might work well. There are big countries like Germany, very organized, very disciplined, with 70 million people. In the past, oh yeah, in the past, there was some amount of corruption, but it's not in the culture of Finnish people. We do not pay tips in the restaurants because the price is there and the salary is there, and we do not pay our extra to our doctors or teachers. No.
So there has been some small corruption among members of parliament. For instance, our former foreign minister was sacked out because 3 businessmen paid his 60th birthday, and the sum was about $30,000. So that's the corruption, but he was kicked out.
But it has been wonderful to be here in Mexico. We love your people and we love your women, and we wish all the best for all your achievements, and you will have a great future here in the beautiful country. Thank you.